YouTube world? Welcome back to my channel. So today we have something special for us. We have a right-hand drive G35 coupe that came in to wrap the headliner and pillars in Alcantara, and they're also going to do the Rolls-Royce stars. So just as a disclaimer, this is something that's very time consuming. Anybody can do it as a DIY, but there's certain tools and materials that you need to do something like this. Now, I'm going to go a little bit in detail of how I do it and the things that I use that help me. So I'm gonna just give you a little walk around of what the situation is. That way it makes a little bit more sense. So yes, it is a right-hand drive. Imported, this is super sweet. You know, and this guy does slide it, it's on bag, so this is pretty freaking sick. So, basically, in these Japanese models, they do come with a different material over here on the pillars and on the headliner, but that's besides the point. But basically, I'm going to be wrapping these pillars, both sides. I'm going to have to take the visors off, you know, take off the plastic pieces, the lights, all that good stuff. Anything that's protruding out. So basically, anything that's going to require me to take off the headliner. So we'll it'll make a little bit more sense once I start doing it. So I'm gonna set you guys up on tripod and I'm gonna get you a time lapse. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so we are at the fun part, which is easy part, the disassembly. So most of the times on these G35s or 350Zs, they usually have these little plastic caps over the seatbelt covers. So usually what I do is use one of these flathead screwdriver, and you get it right behind this little guy's like a little lip. You just catch it on there, and you just softly pry it. You don't want to break none of these plastic clips because it'll never go in. Most of the times it's a 14 millimeter, so let me see if I'm right. Please forgive me if I look sweaty, because I am. I'm in Texas, so please forgive me. And it is a 14, so let me get that on the ratchet there. So we need to do this process, that way we can take off these plastic trims on the back that actually hold part of the headline. We are free. So, if you're wondering what this is the airbag cover. I already took that off. You can just pop that off with a flathead. And yes, there is a 10 millimeter bolt in there. This is the Japanese model. I don't know if all G35 coupes have their curtain airbags, but in this case it does. So you want to make sure you take off that 10 millimeter bolt, or else this trim piece will not come off. So usually I pry it from this little section here. So I'm gonna get a little flathead here. Let's see if that works. And yes, it did. So, boom, there we go. So we got that little section off. And you just want to firmly pull it apart. You won't break any clips as long as you're not jamming a flathead in there. So, let's see. Oh, and before I continue, I do have to drop the back seat, so let me go do that. That, and I already did take off the 10 millimeter bolt, and that's what it looks like. It's like a little 10 millimeter golden color nut. So that's off. So there we go. So we got most of it. So we just firmly pull it apart, and it should just pop off. Go over on this side. Sorry if I'm kind of covering the angle there. Just kind of grab it from the top and the bottom. And just pull the clips apart. So now, headliner is free, as you can see, and we will do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, so the headliner is finally out. Now, in this case, we have all of our parts right here. Not all of them are gonna have to be wrapped. Some of them are actually gonna have to be sprayed with the fabric dye. And this is your module with your fiber optics. Now, this is the fundamentals of what you need to do your starlights. Now, it's completely optional if you guys want to use a toggle switch, something like this. But what I usually do is I piggyback it off the cigarette lighter in the fuse box, but that's totally up to you guys. Now, this is roughly what it looks like on a G35 coupe. So, well, you guys have an idea. But yeah. I'm going to be very careful taking these off because back here, and I've already broke them off, but back here, there's these little kind of stubs there. And it has these little guys, if you guys can see that. It has these little like washers that go around and that kind of hold this tight up against the headliner basically, so you don't want to be yanking on it when you try to take the headliner off. It comes off together with it. So there's that. So now that we have most of it already taken apart, if there's anything else protruding out of it, you want to make sure you take it off, or else it's going to be way harder time for you to lay down the material. So basically, now that we have that figured out, we need to make sure we get your materials. You know, the fundamentals are, you know, you got your scissors, you got your flathead screwdrivers that you'll probably need to tug materials in certain places. Now, I do use this stuff very often. This is probably the best stuff I've worked with so far, and this is the Wellwood Contact Cement. Don't use that Gorilla crap. I've used it before. It does not work. The headliner will sag. I've tried it on my several cars. Just trust me, guys. Save yourself time and money and do it right the first time. So I got this stuff as well. And the other main thing that I'm also going to be using is the vinyl fabric spray by Duplicolor. Now with this stuff here, basically if there's anything that you can't wrap with the material, this is usually what I spray it with. So like the visors and stuff, you can wrap them if you have a lot of experience. But in my case, I'm kind of on a time crunch, so I'm going to be utilizing this spray here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just lay out the material. You want to make sure you have a little bit extra. And that's more than plenty to do the pillar.
Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines.
Not to mention, this is what I used to poke the holes through it. I just found a really small Allen key. And what I did was I used my bench grinder and I just made it very, very sharp. I don't know if you can see that. My camera won't focus, but it's very sharp. It's sharp enough to puncture and not mess up the suede I have behind there. So really anything works, but this is what I used in my case.
As if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping in
Really
at the end step. Everything's already installed on the car. So I'm just gonna show you the way that I wired it, just really quick. You get one of these little piggyback adapters that they have at AutoZone. Of course, this is way too big. There's a smaller one that I use for the medium size fuses, but this is just to give you a reference of what it looks like. Now, it is a clean install. No wires anywhere. I ran everything through the modules in here, inside the plastic piece. I ran the wire all the way through here, and I spliced it right into the fuse box. And I'm still using the cigarette lighter, so that's why I use the piggyback, because you don't have to jeopardize your cigarette lighter. So here it is, guys. Now, yes, there is a whole bunch of different colors. Let me show you with the remote here. Now there's blue. Let me turn the light off so y'all can see a little bit better. There we go. We have red, super cool. We have kind of like a baby blue, orange, purple, and it has different modes where kind of switches between colors. You have your motor speed, so you can speed it up and slow it down, but this is also Bluetooth, so this is just one option that you can use. You can use a little remote like this, or just download the app that it tells you inside the kit, and it works with that just fine. So I really appreciate you guys for watching my video. Hopefully this was helpful, and I really hope you guys like it, and y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, and more videos to come. So God bless, y'all take it easy.
Yeah, bro, this man does some magic, bro. That shit looks fucking live, bro.
You going on my YouTube channel, fam?